Okay, so welcome to this video. This is my dad, and he was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when he was 16.
16?
So I shared my story earlier in another video, and I'll link it, but I wanted my dad to share his story, and then I can share it with you guys. So here is his story about how he was diagnosed.
When I was 16 years old, I had a long battle with a high-grade fever. And the doctors speculate that because of the high-grade fever that I had for an extended period of time, we're talking 103 to 105 for probably 2 or 3 days, that the islet of Langerhans cells were killed off by that high-grade fever. And that's the speculation as to how I got diabetes. The symptoms that I had were rapid weight loss. That was the biggest one. I weighed 165 pounds and I started losing weight very, very rapidly. A lot of frequent urination, all the symptoms of diabetes. Lots of irritability because the sugar, of course, was building up in my system and I didn't have any way of getting rid of it. I went from 165 pounds to 139 pounds in about 5 days. After school was a marathon of eating. I would come home from school and I would prepare, I remember a Roman meal loaf of bread, and I would prepare a peanut butter and jelly sandwich by a slice of bread, peanut butter, jelly, set that aside, get another slice, peanut butter, jelly, put the two together, and then eat that. And that was one, and I would have 6 of those. So that's 12 slices of bread, you know, a truckload of peanut butter, drain in the jelly jar. Then to wash it all down, I would have big glasses of milk with your friend and mine, Mr. Sugar, as primary ingredient. After the milk, of course, still thirsty, I would have the 2-liter bottles of pop, the sugar pop, you know, and be through 1 or 2 of those in a day or so. So the amount of calories coming in and the very frequent amount of urine coming out combined with the rapid weight loss, I just looked emaciated. And my dad finally said, you know what, I think you've got diabetes. And diabetes runs in our family. My uncle on my mother's side was 4 years old, and he died of the sweet disease. They recognized way back when men would have spats on their shoes, and because of the urine and the spray off would leave deposits of sugar on their spats, and so doctors diagnosed it as the sweet disease. Well, they didn't have diabetes mellitus diagnosed back then, so he died of the sweet disease. And it's interesting, my uncle had it. I am the uncle of my nephew David, and my nephew David has diabetes. And as you know, passing from father to daughter is one of the biggest ways to do it. So my little girl Anna has it. So sorry, sweetie.
Okay.
But anyway, I had a lot of, like I said, rapid weight loss, eating constantly, high degree of irritability. I really probably ticked off my mom quite a bit, but my mom is cool. She handled me very, very well and put me in my place, and you know, it was kind of the, well, even if you do have a disease, you have no right to be that irritable towards me. So anyway, Mom was cool about it, and that's how I got diabetes. I have a pump that I got in the year 2000, and so I've been on pump insulin therapy for 17 years now. And I can tell you, if anybody is trying to decide, well, it's not for me because I'm mobile and I like to do things. Anybody who knows me knows that there's no grass growing under my feet. The pump does not impede your lifestyle. The pump saves your life. Therefore, it's a good thing and I recommend it highly. Love the CGM. I just got the CGM this past year, and it's been so much better control. Previously, my A1C was 8.6.
Okay.
8.6, and then the last A1C that I had when I really had the pump for about a month was 5.8. So
You mean the CGM?
the CGM, yeah, with the CGM,
It's 5.8.
5.8. For the people who have just been diagnosed with diabetes, please realize that this is not something that you get right away. In other words, you don't get how to manage it right away. You can be doing things perfectly fine, and because of your body type, the procedures that you're doing just simply don't work from time to time. It happens. Don't beat yourself up because you're going too high or going too low and, oh, it's my fault, I'm doing all these things. Of course, if you're snacking on sugar all the time, then it is your fault. But if you're trying to follow your doctor's advice and you're struggling with it, please don't beat yourself up, because that aggravation to your system can cause more aggravation to your diabetes. There's a saying that I really like to live by. It's by Elder Joseph B. Worthland. He says, "Come what may and love it." And when you figure out that you're going to make mistakes, it's going to happen. As long as you're still kicking, as long as you're still in there, you're winning the battle. So take care of yourself, watch your feet, exercise, develop healthy habits, and develop a love of healthy foods. I enjoy the challenge of counting the carbs and making sure that I get the right amount of insulin and the balance. It's something that's interesting to do. So make it something that's interesting for you and not a drudgery of life. You have diabetes, accept it, go with it, and come what may and love it.
Okay, so that was his story and kind of his suggestions and ideas, and it was great. Thank you for being here and telling them about it. Oh, thank you. And we'll see you later.
Bye-bye.